Okay, Star Wars Resistance is a childish um, animated series. I say childish because it's literally like stuff that you can find on Cartoon Network these days for kids. Um, but it does depict the resistance in this era. So, at the fall of the Empire in episode 4, 5, and 6, from the ashes rose the First Order. I know where'd they come up with these names, and with the arising of the first, I was about to say with the arisen, with the arising of the First Order, there was also a faction that resisted it called the Resistance, and they battle out in these three movies: Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, ending the Skywalker saga as we know it. For now, we don't know what what Disney has in store. Um, so, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, we are introduced to a couple of new characters. Um, Obviously, there are some known characters. Leia Organa is now a general of the Resistance. Han Solo is around with his buddy Chewbacca. I love those two. And 3PO's there, R2D2's there, and there's a new droid that we focus on as well, BB-8, the spherical droid that rolls around with the magnetic head that, yeah. He belongs to a Resistance, or not belongs, but he's accompanied together with a Resistance Star X-Wing fighter pilot by the name of Poe Dameron. It opens with him receiving the map, or part of a map, to discover or to find Luke Skywalker after he went into hiding. Because during episode 6 to this one, episode 7, Luke opened up a Jedi temple to train a new generation of Jedi younglings, or just Jedi, should I say. And amongst those were the kids of Han Solo and Leia Organa. And, they were being trained by Uncle Ben. Not Uncle Ben, Uncle Luke. One of the kids was called Ben Solo. He had a hard time because he was influenced by the dark side. And then he broke off, but not before destroying the Jedi Temple in the process, or more like he fled or something like. I need to actually. I should have read up on it, but all I know from the top of my head from watching and reading posts is he then he either he created or he joined a group, and he then led it, and the group was called the Knights of Ren, where the word Ren comes from, I don't know. And he changed his name to Kylo Ren. So he was kind of like the leader of those badass force-wielding people. And he came back and destroyed the temple where the Jedi younglings were being trained, basically because he had turned to the dark side. And he was now an apprentice himself to the Supreme Leader Snoke, according to the movies. According to people who've read the books, or books, especially after episode 4, 5, and 6, this is now bordering on Legends, stuff that was not actually taken into the movies. Also, that's my understanding of it all. So basically, Kylo Ren is now the apprentice. Snoke is the leader of the First Order, and General Hux is the leader of. He's basically like he's kind of like the second/third in command. He oversees, stuff that goes on in the First Order, like, preparing for battle, building of mega structures, stuff like that, you know. And so with those two running the show, they are obviously running the show, and then we meet Jin Erso, a child that was left on some sandy planet by her parents, guardians, whoever, and she always believed that they were going to come back for her, but she was left there as like a child, like no older than 10, and she's now grown, probably in her early 20s, and she's still waiting for whoever left her to come back, but they ain't come back. And then obviously some Star Wars has got a lot of coincidinkies, being in the right place at the right time and all that stuff. So, like I said, Poe Dameron is given a map to find Luke Skywalker. He's captured, but not before giving that map to his BB-8 unit, and it rolls off. And is coincidinky bumps into Rey, and Rey kind of saves it and tells it to carry on going on its mission, but it's like, you know, whatever it says, which apparently everyone speaks droid on that on this franchise, and I'm like, oh really, he said that? Okay, cool. And so at the same time, Poe Dameron is being interrogated by Kylo Ren, but escapes with Finn, and they crash land back on the planet where the BB-8 unit is, because they need to find it, but they get separated, and mishaps, bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. Finn bumps into BB-8 and Rey, and the First Order is chasing all of them for reasons such as desertion. Finn, the droid which has the map to Luke Skywalker, which is now in the position of Rey, and Poe Dameron is somewhere we don't know here, but we're focusing on these three. And they boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bam, and they find the Millennium Falcon, bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. They fly, boom, bam, bing. Han Solo seems to be within the area. He's like, oh, my ship. And he takes it, and yeah, then they all Sangana, Sisonke, meet together. And, and obviously take the plans to Leia Organa, who is the general, and then they find out that there is a new Death Star weapon called Killer Star Base, or Star Killer Base, I always mistake the order, which can destroy planets, and it starts destroying planets that are in the Resistance, or should I say the New Republic Order, which is also known as the Resistance, or they support the Resistance, and they have to obviously destroy it. I love how bad guys take years and years and years and years to build a super base, and within a day or two, the Resistance or the Rebel, they find one piece of information and they go on one mission. Not like they did countless missions and people died. Okay, yeah, people did die, but like not like they had to keep sending people on countless missions. No, they all just did one mission. The Death Star, one mission. Boom. Star Killer Base or Killer Star Base, one mission. Boom. Because like I said, these three movies, they didn't stick on me. Because ever since Disney bought LucasFilms for like billions of dollars. So LucasFilms is George Lucas's baby, but it was bought by Disney. Luke is found at the end of this movie, so he goes into this movie and he trains Rey, I believe, who is Force sensitive. Like, she's really strong with the Force. She's basically like Anakin, as in raw potential for use of the Force. And that point, I don't disagree with that. Why I say that? Because there are things that I disagree with the character of Rey. I love the actor Rey. Daisy Ridley, wonderful actor. In fact, all the actors from everything on Star Wars, I could list them all. Love them all. From Ewan McGregor, hello there, to John Boyega. We could use the Force. Han Solo. That's not how that works. Chewie. Han Solo. Oh, you're cold? Like I said, Rey, very strong with the Force. Begins to train. She's competing against the likes of Kylo Ren, who grew up being trained in the ways of the Force and turned to the dark side and was trained furthermore in the dark arts. And Rey is discovered in this movie, and a couple of days later she's wielding a lightsaber, and with the poise and the stance and the accuracy of one who has trained her whole life to be a Jedi. You see where I'm going with that? But I mean, if they had at least, you know, trained her for like a year or two, I'd have been like, okay, cool, I get it. But she literally did not receive one lesson on how to swing, how to block, how to use the Force. Okay, she doesn't use any Force in terms of telekinetic wise. She uses it in telekinesis. She resists Kylo Ren's Force interrogation of her, of where the droid is or the map to Luke Skywalker is. She resists that, and I was like, okay. It's like basically like tapping into an aquifer. You know, like the pressure is there and everything, but the aquifer doesn't really know, you know, that I have the potential to be tapped into and save lives. But then when Kylo Ren does that, it's like he breaks a fuse, or he breaks, you know, something. All that energy of the Force in through her, not in her, because the Force is in every living thing. You just have to know how to use it. So anyway, the ability for her to kind of use it, it's like that knee-jerk reaction. He did that, and her mind did the knee thing and did. I'm gonna regret that later. And so yes, I'm regretting it now. Can I do the rest of this video sitting down? I can. This is a very low bar stool. I don't know if you can see me. So yeah, knee-jerk reaction. I could go all day about that. So yes, she fought Kylo Ren in that movie there, and she basically gave him a beatdown. I mean, he gave us some licks and lashes of his lightsaber and his Force push and kicking and whatnot. But she held her own. Like previously, like literally 2 seconds before that, Finn tried to fight him with the lightsaber. He has zero connection with the Force, or so we know of. But he still, you know, he does the 1-2, 1-2. He nicks Kylo in the shoulder, and that's gone off. He nicks Kylo in the shoulder, but then Kylo, he's like, oh, you want to do what? With what? Against who? Come here. Finish him. Zoop down the back. Which we thought, he's crippled. He's been hit down the highway of the nerves. Who knows to what extent the damage could be. Sorry, I'm really dragging this out, but I'm having fun. I don't know if you're having fun. Or, I don't know. I can't see any. Woohoo! Rey picks up the lightsaber, battles him, kind of defeats him, gives him some licks and lashes, but receives some herself. And they're fighting on the Killer Death Star base, which is basically blowing up. So they have to leave. So they leave. These two, the best I can summarize them is that hold on, let me sit like this. No. the best I can summarize those two is to say that Rey has now got powers. No, not powers. She's now able to use the Force in a substantial way, and she fights Kylo Ren occasionally. Kylo Ren is struggling with the with letting go of all that is good in him, to embrace all that is bad in him, or bad through him, which will enhance his powers as a Sith apprentice. But he keeps struggling with that. He thinks he's found the remedy by killing his dad, Han Solo, in the first one. Man, that's like the first time I actually shed a tear in Star Wars. Not for losing a character, but the effects of losing that character. Chewbacca was just, I'm trying to find a very good descriptive word, distraught. This is his buddy that he's known for a long time. I mean, the race of Wookiee they can live a long life. It's like basically comparing the lifespan of a human to a dog, where dogs just race like this. You know, it's every 1 year of human is 7 or so years of a dog, canine. Sorry, so that's basically the reverse. Not those exact numbers, but basically Han Solo aged very quickly, and Chewbacca's been around for a while, and he's still going on for a while. Because he was there, we first see him, or I don't know if we've seen him before that, but episode 3 on his home planet Kashyyyk with Yoda there helping them fight the droid army. And that's when Order 66 happens and the Clone Wars starts. Not the Clone Wars, the end of the Republic and the death of the Jedi. And Chewbacca helps Yoda escape, and Yoda says, "Miss you, I will," to Chewbacca. And then he goes. And then Chewbacca meets Han Solo. I'm not sure exactly how long, but after that, that's when he met him, and he's been buddies with him for a long time, for a very long time, like over 20 years, knowing each other. And pilot, co-pilot, smugglers, they've been everywhere and anywhere. So wow, yeah, he didn't just lose a friend, he lost his whole world, his existence of being. That's all he's known ever since he met Han Solo. It's just the two of us. We can make it. Okay, I'll probably get YouTube copyrighted for that song, but yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Kylo Ren. So basically, the battle between these last two movies is between Kylo Ren and Rey. The last name we don't know, but we do know at the end of that movie. Why? Because Darth Sidious returns. He cloned himself, and now he speaks in a... I don't remember how he speaks, but yeah, he cloned himself. So a clone of Darth Sidious, basically him, returns and is undercover behind all of this, the First Order. Snoke was just a puppet. Also, that's how I see him. I don't really know the story of Snoke. And with the return of Darth Sidious, he amasses a huge army, from where I still have to rewatch the movie to understand, but he basically comes up with an army so huge he can wipe out everybody who wants to oppose him. Everyone who wants to oppose him. And he then asks Rey and Kylo to join them, because Kylo was kind of already a Sith, but he was still struggling, and Rey to join them because, drumroll please, I am your father. Apparently she is a Palpatine. Who knew? I'm trying to actually think. When? How? What? yeah, I need to. Someone needs to explain that to me. That was the truth bomb at the end of this movie, that she was a Palpatine, but because she was, with Leia Organa and Han Solo and all those and Luke and whatnot, she was basically adopted to be a Skywalker, and hence at the end, the rise of Skywalker. At the end, she sees the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker, who dies in. Is it this movie? Is it this movie? One of these movies. And Leia Organa, who dies in this movie? That movie? One of those movies. And they say, "You are a Skywalker." And the whole movie theater threw popcorn at the screen. Boo! Like I said, nothing against the actor, Daisy Ridley. Wonderful actress. The character she played it well. She sold it for me. She sold me a character that I didn't like. That's how good her acting was. So yeah, I mean, I have my hate moments. Not hate moments, dislike. Hate is a very strong word. Dislike moments about Rey. But then you look at the character, you're like, look at the actor, you're like, but hey, she's done such a good job. I know. Well done, Lassie. Well done. Done us proud. What else did I wanted to mention? I don't know. It'll pop up if I start talking. But basically, I just wanted to end by saying the trilogies, the original trilogy, which is actually 4, 5, and 6, the prequel trilogy, which is 1, 2, and 3, and the sequel trilogy, which is 7, 8, and 9. They all tap into different generations, different fans, different ways that people love Star Wars. I would say I am a fan of overall I'm a fan of the prequel trilogies, which people will shoot me because the general Star Wars fan base did not like episode 1. They thought it was they didn't like it. They didn't like certain characters from that movie, Jar Jar Binks. They didn't like certain ways things were handled in that movie, Anakin Skywalker. In fact, the whole series. Some people don't even like the actor Christian Haydenson of Anakin Skywalker in 2 and 3. It wasn't him in episode 1. They just don't like the way he portrayed it. They thought it was weak. They thought he didn't play the role to its ultimate best. I tend to agree with them sometimes, but at the end of the day, he was just reading words that were already written by someone else. So in terms of the script, you can't change the script as an actor. That's just how it comes. But in terms of portraying the role, I think he didn't do a bad job. He didn't do his best, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, that's how it is. But I like episode 1, 2, and 3. I love episode 1, 2, and 3. I strongly like episode 4, 5, and 6. They're obviously the origins, and I can stomach episode 7, 8, and 9. I started watching episode 4, 5, and 6. I was about 11, 12. One of my best friends' dad had the VHS collection of the trilogy set, and I asked to borrow it the one weekend, and never looked back since. After that, I've never missed any premiere of any movie, any series. There's a new premiere in a couple of days of Bad Batch, which is actually a continuation of the Clone Wars around the time of Order 66, which I will explain fully, because I think I've taken up a lot of your time. I'm probably not even going to edit most of this, because I was just speaking straight from in here and in here, and all the facts, they count in trying to help you look at episode 1 all the way to 9. So in summary, episode 1, 2, and 3 is the battle between the Republic and the Separatists, but underneath there's also Anakin Skywalker as a kid, as a Jedi Padawan, being trained, being undermined by the Jedi Council, and being welcomed by Chancellor Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, to be trained as episode 4, 5, and 6, Darth Vader. And they rule in the Empire, Galactic Empire, 4, 5, and 6, versing the Rebellion Alliance, 4, 5, and 6, with such things as the Death Star, the cute little Ewoks from Moon Forest of Endor. It was the Forest Moon of Endor. I always mix those two names up. And then episodes 7, 8, and 9, Darth Vader is dead, Darth Sidious is dead, but it doesn't mean evil lays dormant. It arises in new ways, new forms. Snoke, who trains Kylo Ren, who was Ben Solo, son of Han Solo and Princess Organa, and Rey, a character that we discover who is strong with the Force, and she opposes Kylo Ren, and she actually challenges Kylo Ren and eventually convinces him to join her side. So Kylo Ren actually defects to, or not like defects, he goes back to the light, but not before killing his dad, Han Solo. Chewbacca distraught for days, and yeah, Rey being actually a Palpatine but adopted as a Skywalker, and end of the day, the New Republic, aka with the Resistance, overthrow the First Order, and peace is restored once again to the galaxy. So from me and a galaxy far, far away, that is the end of this very long episode. I apologize. Love you all. Captain Roddy, out.